Hey guys, welcome back. Tisha here, back with another Sister Wives Season 17 review. Go ahead and do me a favor and hit the like button because I need to start off by saying that we have to be clear of one thing. At this point, in my opinion, Christine is over the bald eagle. The only thing that she wants from him is for him to be there for her kids. That's it. It's not about money. It's about his time. And for whatever reason, he doesn't get it. 17 seasons in, and he doesn't understand what we all understand. 17 seasons in, and the bald eagle still hasn't figured out that once you put something out there on television, once it's on camera, that it's going to be out there forever, especially if you put the internet into the situation. They edit things a lot, but we know what's going on here. We know what we saw. So he can try to gaslight her and try to keep changing up the story all he wants to. But at this point, we know the truth. So the end part when he acts like he doesn't know what Christine is talking about and like he's surprised that number one, she wants to tell the wives that she's leaving, and number two, that she plans on taking Truly. It sounds crazy because they already had this discussion, yet he's sitting there and he's acting like he was oblivious to it. But we'll get into it. So the episode begins at Christine's. She just got back from McKelty and Tony's celebrating the birth of the grandbaby, who, according to Christine, looks just like Tony, except she's actually pretty. She didn't say that. I said it, but I'm just saying. Because when she said she looked like Tony, I was like, Lord, please don't let her have them eyes. I don't know. Something about Tony is off, y'all. And the more that I look at him, especially now with him slimming down and stuff, it's the more obvious that it is. But let's continue. Christine says that unlike Cody, okay, she didn't say unlike Cody, but you know, it's suggested there, that unlike Cody, Tony is a very hands-on dad and she loves it. She says he even gets jealous when McKelty gets to feed the baby because she is spending more time as a result of that. She was like, look, I was there and there were times where he was holding her when I wanted to hold her. She's not going anywhere. I guess it's cute, but me personally, I wasn't the person that held my child a lot. My baby that was created in my womb was meant just for me. I really believe that because his temperament was perfect for me because he wasn't a needy baby. Like, he was the type of baby who didn't want to be bothered. At that time in my life, I needed a baby that didn't want to be bothered. So once he was done being fed and changed, he wanted to be put down to the point where he would grunt and make little noises if you were holding him too long. So hearing that, I'm like, okay, don't spoil the baby because you want to keep holding the baby every chance that you get. But to each his own. Wouldn't happen here, but it's okay that it happened there. So Christine is sitting there and she's telling us that at this point, she's ready to tell the wives that she's out of there. She's nervous though because she knows that a lot of the wives are going to be upset when she tells them that she's leaving, but she plans on doing it soon. So we get to another segment. We see that Cody and Janelle are meeting up at Coyote Pass. Cody still plans on building and living there. Y'all, you know what's crazy? I got my new tripod, right? And it's so bright. My new ring light thing. It's huge and bright. And I'm currently utilizing that in the back. And then I have my old tripod here. And it's reminding me of why I don't need it because this thing keeps lowering it. And if it gets too low, you're going to see that I only have on the top. Okay. Anyways, so Cody still plans on living at Coyote Pass, and him and Janelle are there meeting up. And now that Kristen is leaving, he tells us that he's going to have to figure out how he's going to how he's going to reconfigure these lots. Janelle isn't worried about anything going on with the lots, though. Instead, her focus is the fact that she needs to move because the rental home that she's in is going to be sold. He wants to put it on the market. So she has two choices. She can either move out or she can buy it. She says it's a really good deal, but she doesn't really want to be there. She says she'd rather put that money into Coyote Pass and expanding there than to put it into the rental property that she's currently in. She says that in order to finally get out there, that she and Savannah are going to be moving into a trailer. Soon as she said that she was moving into the trailer, I was like, what in the world is Janelle thinking about? Why would you volunteer to do that? Just doesn't sound fun to me. She doesn't want to finance something until they've secured the land. She talks about how, different things need to be done, and she wants Cody to pay off the land. Janelle has always wanted them to do something with this land. And to this point, to my knowledge, they still haven't done anything with it. If they have, put it down below. He tells us that Christine's leaving is going to make them, have to rethink things and the way lots are. I don't understand to this day why they would have to reconfigure anything or rethink anything. They haven't even paid off the property. What is there to rethink? Leave the lots the way you bought them. If you bought 4 lots and these are the 4 lots, what is there to think about? It's like he overcomplicates things just to stall. He's wondering if Christine wants to keep her land or if she'll sell it. Well, he didn't say sell it. He said give it to them. And unfortunately, that's exactly what she did. She gave it to them. I still don't think that she should have done it. I still think that Christine deserved more than what she got, but what do I know? I mean, if you could just go and put down $420,000 for a new home, even bigger than what you already have, you should have to give those ladies that land. Cody isn't ready for Janelle to be building anything out there yet. Janelle brings up the RV, tells Cody, look, I found a place already. And what I went ahead and did was I went ahead and put the money down and I got it. See, y'all, this is ridiculous. Keeps lowering, sorry. And I got it. I'm hearing Janelle. And Janelle is supposed to be so intelligent. But Janelle didn't put a lot of thought into this, you guys, because you're moving on to land that's freezing cold. All the different wives have talked about how it's even colder out in Coyote Pass. You're moving out to this land full of prairie dog poo-poo and all that other stuff. And it doesn't have any water, any electricity. We'll just say any irrigation whatsoever. You're going to have to get propane tanks in order to provide yourself with light and things of that nature. Cody's truck that he currently has can't even pull it. So what about this made sense to Janelle? Cody hates the idea of living in the RV. We're not surprised because at this point, Cody is too good for any of that type of living. He only likes big, expensive things. But he's shocked. He's shocked because he can't believe that Janelle has made this decision without him. And he knows that they don't have anything to move this thing out there. So Janelle's like, I'm going to have to pick up, go ahead and buy a truck in order to do it. I don't get why she just couldn't rent something to pull it. I guess it's because it has to constantly be moved around. And in order to move it around all over the place, you're not going to want to rent something every time you got to move it. He can't believe, as I said, that she made this decision because he doesn't want to be in an RV. Janelle tells Cody that, if she could just buy something in town, but if she does that, she feels like Coyote Pass will never happen. She has to make something happen. Her sleeping on the land, in her mind, will mean that they're doing something. Wishful thinking, because nothing ever came of this. And all it did was make him more upset with her. And all it did was have Cody continue to stall, but it was blatant and she could see it this time. She tells him that the boys will be moving out if she moves into the RV, that Garrison will probably take his RV out on the property too, and that Gabe wants to get his own apartment. I want to know, how good was Gabe's job paying that he was ready to get his own apartment? Just thought about it. Janelle tells us that she's mentioned this to Cody before, and she's told him that she was going to plan on doing this with Savannah, but he doesn't listen to her when she talks. He's still stuck on the fact that she did this without him. And to be fair, I am too. Because I would think that if you're a married person and if you're in a healthy relationship, that you would consult one another before doing major purchases. I know when I get married, that's definitely going to be a requirement of my marriage. Not saying that I'm going to tell you, no, you can't do it, but I would like to at least have a little bit of input. Later, Cody tells us about each wife and how they used to be willing to obey, or what their level of, being a good wife was. So he said in the past, Mary and Robin worked with him. Sometimes Janelle didn't work with him. Christine was usually compliant, but that was until she was told no in terms of Utah. And then she decided to move herself because she was told no. He's so great at changing the narrative. That's not why she left. She got tired of this crap. So we get another scene of Christine, and she's very frustrated. She talks about how she just got off this call, and she reminds us of the previous episode with the video call and how Isabel is planning to return to school in person for her senior year. She says that she hoped that Cody would ask Isabel to not go back to school because for her, it would prove that he cared about spending time with her. But he obviously didn't, because if you know that this is your senior year, her senior year, and at this point you know that she applied to another college and the plans are for her to leave to go and live with Maddie in North Carolina, then you would think that he would be utilizing this opportunity to spend as much time as he could with them. He claims that it's not really a priority of his to go over there and spend time with them because Isabel and Truly, they don't really, hang out with him that much while he's there. That normally they go to bed while he's still there. Because when he's there, they don't dote on him. He has a problem with it. Because when he's there, Christine's already told us, he spends a lot of time on his phone. So why would they continue to hang out with you if you're not making it a situation where they're enjoying what's going on? He talks like he wants them there and he expects them to stay in town, but he's not showing through his actions that that's what he wants. Another scene at Janelle's. Janelle has the adults over to tell them that she bought that RV and that she's going to be moving onto Coyote Pass. She's happy to announce it. Mary and Christine are laughing. They think it's funny. The bird is making faces because she wants no part of it. Christine's like, look, whatever she wants to do is good for her. Me personally, I have no desire to live on Coyote Pass, whether it's in a camper or if it's in a house. The other sister wives are surprised that, she was this impulsive, especially because the winters there are very, very rough and they don't think it's a good idea. They all agree that none of them want to live on Coyote Pass in a camper. Janelle says that, she's going to have to get a truck. Christine says it's because Cody has a wussy truck and the wussy truck won't do it. I laugh. They make a lot of jokes about it. The conversation about Coyote Pass ends up making Christine realize that she really needs to tell the ladies sooner than later that she's leaving because, as I said, she has no intention of moving onto that land. So let's get to it. It's another day. The adults are at Christine's and they're all sitting 6 feet apart. Production is not there. This is what she tells us. She asks production and the camera people not to be there, proving that this entire time, Cody found a way to be around people other than his family. So if you can find a way to do it with production, why can't you feel a way to do it with your family? I'm just saying. Christine tells us that she doesn't want to let production know that she's leaving Cody yet. That this is a personal conversation that should just be between them. So we see the many, many tripods with phones on them to capture every angle of this hot mess. She jumps right in and says that her marriage is trash. She doesn't call it trash, but it's trash. So she's decided to leave. She's like, I'm going to leave Cody. I'm just leaving. The wives, some of them, look stunned. She continues, it's a hard decision. I need to make a choice for happiness and to have joy in my life, there hasn't been a lot of hope until I decided to leave. She felt so much relief from leaving. Mary and Robin, despite Robin's acting, are the only ones that seem shocked. Mary looks pissed. And I don't like how Mary's energy was during this whole conversation. Like, Mary is mad, and she continues to be mad at Christine after this announcement. Then we hear, I was so worried that this is what you called us over here for. I knew that, you move things out, I knew that you moved these things out, but I didn't know you were doing this. Yeah, right. You knew. He was probably crying on your wing, or you were probably crying on his wing when he told you. This is not new news to you, Bird. It's the acting for me that gets on my nerves. A lot of it when it comes to her isn't genuine, and it bothers me so much because I would much rather appreciate you being honest, which is that he told you. She's like, I'm so shocked. This is what she's telling us. I'm so shocked. It's just, I'm not computing. I'm not understanding. I don't even know what to say. I don't understand what you don't understand. Mary's like, this is an announcement. I'm processing it. Janelle lets us know she isn't surprised. She knew it was coming. She even throws Christine under the bus. And I hate that she does this, but it just reminds me that Janelle had a tendency to do this sometimes. And I'm sorry, I like Janelle, but she's aware of what she's doing when she does this. You've been around your husband enough to know how he is. She says, I know you talked to some of my kids and text, some things, but I didn't think you were leaving. Janelle, shut up. This is where you get on my nerves because you don't need to say all of that. Don't give him any more ammunition than he already has. This is why he says all the things that he says and talks about her talking crap and all these other things, because you continue to give him ammo. Christine hears all this and she's like, you know what? Let me just finish it. I'm going to just put it all out there. She lets them know that she's leaving them. She's leaving them in Flagstaff, where all of them wanted to stay, when she told them that she wanted to go. She doesn't even give them time to process the situation before she adds to it and tells them, you know what, Janelle? you can rent my house if you want to. I said, I can't begin to imagine the relief and the joy that Christine felt knowing that this was finally out there. Cody's like, he pulls a Robin. Christine, is that why you felt that you had to have this discussion because of Janelle, moving? No, you dodo. She had to have this discussion because she told you over a month ago that she wants to leave and she wants to talk to the wives about it and she wants to do it with you present. She wanted to give them time to process this information because she plans on leaving, and at this point it's going to be soon. She's serious. We're hearing that we're soon going to be into the summer months. She wants to leave in September, before they start school in Utah. Christine says, look, I've been looking for a perfect timing, and I feel with everything that, this is perfect timing. I feel like I should have done it a month ago. And Mary's mad, and she was like, no time is perfect. Mary, we don't need to hear from you right now. You've barely been in this season anyways. So you adding to this is unnecessary. They start asking her all these questions about the kids and the holidays and their relationships. And Christine is like, okay, the kids are going to have the same relationships they've had with the other kids in the family, but it is going to look a little different. Mary's like, she could say all of that, but once you leave, it changes things. If you leave, you're no longer a sister wife. The family dynamic changes. Here's the thing. This situation would change, but it didn't have to be as bad as it was if the adults made the conscious decision not to make this so messy. But they made this really messy because of how nasty they were when she left. I remember when I left my ex, right? It was hard. It was a hard decision. It was hard decision. I didn't want to do it, but I knew I needed to, right? I was very open and honest. Very, very open and honest. And I let him know what my plans were, where I planned on moving to, what it was going to look like for me, what it was going to look like for the dynamic with my son, all of that. And I gave him plenty of time to get it together so that I would be willing to stay in that area, or understand that if he didn't get it together, peace out. Christine gave that man 10 plus years to get it together, and he didn't. So she peaced out. Janelle is sitting there. She's sitting there and she's realizing that Christine at this point means more to her than a lot of the others. And how weird it's going to be to continue without her because they've had decades with each other. I think that Janelle, when Christine left, a part of Janelle's joy left with Christine, and she didn't even realize it. Robin still can't believe that Christine wants to leave. She can't understand that Christine is in a loveless marriage with Cody. Maybe she hasn't heard him say it as much as we have. She keeps asking Christine, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure that you want to give all that up? Because, there's a lot that you give up. She then tells us how, Christine leaving isn't just about her and Cody. It's about all of us. It's about the other 18 kids. And it's about, the 5 of us adults. It's about all of us. But it really isn't, because all your marriages are supposed to be separate. So why are you making this moment about you? She's like, it's not fair to her anymore. Her and Cody don't have a real relationship, and he doesn't see the kids. No one is close to her except, in my opinion, Janelle and her kids. So she's leaving. It's really not that hard to understand. This lady has been done a long time ago, as I said. But if they took the time to handle this and not be jerks, it could have been a much better situation. But these parents, because they're mad, they then create this dynamic with their kids. They lied to them. They created all these things that didn't need to happen. The Feather people really jacked up Robin's kids. And the fact that she's asking her, are you sure, you're sure, you're sure? She thought about those kids too. That's probably what kept her there as long as she did. So she tells us, the bird does, that she cannot believe that Cody is letting this happen. She reminds us that she is divorced, and she knows how, awful it is, because her divorce was hard. For years, it was hard. Girl, please. You weren't even divorced that long before you got with Cody, and you quickly cut him off. Mary's unhappy, and she's angry for Christine doing something about this and leaving. For her choosing her own happiness over the family, because they all committed to loving and respecting each other when they got married, but there is no love nor respect there from the bald eagle, so he's not honoring his commitments. Why should she? She's then asked by Janelle about Truly. Christine's like, she'll miss you guys, but I'm taking her away. I'm taking her away from Cody. I wish she wouldn't have said it like that. I wish she would have just said, I'm moving away with her. But when you say I'm taking her away from Cody, it makes it sound like you don't want her to have anything to do with him, which I know that wasn't her intentions. But you have to remember who you're talking to. Cody sits there acting like it's his first time hearing this. But as far as the state of Utah is concerned, Truly doesn't have a father, because he never fixed her birth certificate. So he really doesn't have a say, if you ask me. Just my opinion. Some of y'all may disagree. That's okay. But you didn't think enough of her once the announcement was made that she was leaving, and you didn't decide to go pursue anything to try to get 50-50 custody then. So don't try to do it now as a way to control Christine. He says, Christine, you can't take Truly from me. I'm just going to have to get 50-50 custody of her. I never said I was okay with you moving. You never asked if you can move. You just said that you were moving, and you didn't tell her don't move. Why should she ask if she could move when you're not emotionally or physically there? You left the marriage emotionally and physically a long time ago. So she didn't even have to ask you anything. She could have just dipped. He's like, that doesn't mean that you can just run away with Truly and that Truly is out of my life. He really has a tendency to not listen. Christina's over his crap. She knows that this isn't about anything other than him losing control. He tells us that Christine didn't ask him if it was okay to kick him out the house, or ask him if it was okay that he leave, or that she leave, or ask if it was okay that she move. And Christine is sitting there and she's fuming. She's in confessional and she tells us, I find it ironic. I find Christine, hold up, let me act like I'm Christine, but I'm going to switch it up a little bit. You know, I find it, Christine wouldn't have that much attitude. I find it really funny. It's really interesting that now this man is interested in spending time with Truly, given that he's barely spent any time with her or my other kids in the past. Well, hell, he could have had 50-50 this whole effing time when we lived here. If he wanted 50-50, he should have been around more. That should have been in his face, because that is how you shut a mofo down. By telling him the truth and holding that mirror up to his face. Because what excuse would he make then? Oh, let me guess. It's you didn't follow the protocols. Janelle brings up, what is she going to do? She's close to Robin's kids. She's close to Solomon and Ari. And Robin is getting ready to cry. But Christine shuts that down. Christine doesn't say it, but Christine is like, no. It hasn't been that way for a long time. Truly's actually closer to, the family members who live in Utah. In other words, my kids, the ones that she's actually been around. She's totally loved and accepted and adored in Utah, because that's not what happens when she's with the bird and her crew. Janelle knows that Truly isn't going to come back to Flagstaff, because that would mean that Truly's father would actually have to be a father by being active in her life, by being hands-on, by doing something other than just chores with Truly. Robin asks Christine if this means that she's done with the wives. Does this mean that she's done with polygamy? A bunch of stuff that doesn't even matter. She's done with y'all, so what does that matter? You're just trying to make Cody go back down this polygamous train of how she ruined it for him. Cody then tells us, her rushing like this and her leaving and going to Utah just doesn't make sense, because they're no longer a part of the church. So why would she want to go to Utah? Because she has tons of family in Utah, because her kids are in Utah. It's not that hard to understand. So he thinks it's about a guy, and the bird is looking like, he says that Christine needed a certain level of attention, and that's why their marriage didn't work. He then admits that he and Christine have been killing themselves since Vegas to redeem their marriage. Christine's like, yeah, and it was even worse here. He's like, okay. He then says, it's fine. I'm going to be the head of my household again. He tells all of the ladies that everyone is going to need to conform to patriarchy. Janelle, in confessional, because she wouldn't dare say it in front of him, says, I didn't sign up for that. Cody says he's tired of trying to make all of them happy. So now everyone is just going to have to fall in line and do what he wants them to do. He tells them that they better, get on board, treat him better, act like he's the head, or he's just not going to have them around. They won't be a part of family things. Any person who has to announce that They're the head of their household is not the head of their household. What is known doesn't have to be said. This is not things that normal people do. Normal people just go about their business without having to announce what it is that they do and who they are. He's going to take the reins. He says he should have cut off their independence years ago. It's like, gracious. We're in America here. What are you talking about, sir? Isn't that one of the things that he likes to tell us? We're in America. How dare they try to prevent him from being a polygamist? We're in America. How dare you try to cut off your wife's independence? He said, I'm at the point in my life where I don't have time to waste on people who won't respect me, which is why his kids and him are no longer okay. Because he deems respect as you not falling in line or adhering to his rules or doing everything that he tells you to do. If I were them, I'd deck them. I'm just saying. You don't got to tell nobody. Move the camera to the side. The episode ends with Robin stating that, she hopes that the other sister wives realize what a big deal all this is and how much this could rock the family. It doesn't have to rock the family. If you all handled it right, it wouldn't have. Because really, like they said, it's to a point where there would have only been one child left anyways. And here's the thing. Gwen is still there and they don't see her. So how much is it rocking your family? That's the end. My opinion on all of this, Janelle is upset because Christine is leaving her. At this point, she's closer to her than anybody else. The bird is upset because this situation is not about her. And Christine is taking the joy that she has with her. And they know how important Christine's role is in the family. She also doesn't like the fact that Christine's happy because I think that some part of her enjoys the misery. Because you've allowed your husband to treat Christine and her kids like crap all this time. And now you want to act like you're so concerned about her and her kids when you haven't been concerned about the dynamic that's happened with the OG-13 since you got to Flagstaff. Mary is upset because she's jealous that Christine had the courage to do something that she didn't have the courage to do at this point. And the bald eagle is upset because Christine is leaving. She's taking his money. She's going to end up selling his house. And she's making him look stupid. But that's all I got. Sorry this was all over the place. I did a couple videos today. And I guess I tapped out. Let me know what you thought of this. We don't have too many more of these. Based on the responses, I'm going to go ahead and start on Big Love. I also am going to start something else. But I have to do one more review of Bridgerton before I do that. If y'all haven't got a chance to, go check out the Shattered Dreams book. I have a few books that I've read up here, but go check out Shattered Dreams, because when I say that Irene Spencer has done a great job letting us know some stuff about polygamy and what's expected of them without boring us with a whole bunch of doctrine, she's made us laugh, she's made us cry. It's a good read. Even if you don't listen to mine, go purchase it because it's a good book. Anyways, that's all I have. Thank you guys so much. If there's something that I left out that you want to talk about, feel free to put it down below. Until next time.